Alright guys, to create your first campaign, all you gotta do is open up the app and go to File and Campaign Manager, and then it'll bring up the campaign settings here. So basically in this lesson I want to go through the Structure and Growth tab here. I'll set aside a lesson for each one of these tabs and kind of go over in depth about what each of the settings are for all these different tabs. So the Structure and Growth tab, we'll talk about that one right now. Alright, so the most important item in this Structure and Growth tab is the accounts per tier. Basically, this sets up how big your network is, and also sets up how many accounts per tier, how they're distributed throughout your network. So, for instance, I have tier 1 at three Web 2.0 sites. Tier 2 will have 3 Web 2.0 sites, each linking to one of these sites, and then Tier 3 will have 6 Web 2.0 sites linking to each one of these 3 Tier 2 sites. So to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about here, I'm just going to bring up this diagram again. In regards to that those settings that I just showed you, this is how the link will, or the blog network would look after it's been built out. So like I said, on the first level we have three Web 2.0 accounts right here, 1, 2, 3, and then we have 3 Web 2.0 accounts, each linking to one of those. So you have 1, 2, 3, each linking to the tier 1 account, and then 1, 2, 3 linking to the tier 1 account again. So, and then finally on the third tier you have 6 Web 2.0 accounts, each linking to the tier 2 accounts. So if you look down here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Web 2.0 accounts linking to the tier 2, and so on. If you keep looking, you'll see there's 6 accounts here, 6 accounts here, each linking to one of those tier 2 properties. So as we come back to this accounts per tier, so that, like I said, this is how big your network will be once it's finally completed. And then if you look down here, it'll show you the total amount of total accounts to be created for this network is 66, and the max that is allowed with this campaign is 75. Now the max accounts is based on whichever package you purchased. With the light package, you have max 75 accounts per campaign, and with the pro package you can build up to 150 accounts per campaign. Alright, the next setting I want to talk about is the post interval. So sometimes people get confused on exactly what this is. It's pretty simple. For instance, I have the post interval set at daily. So if you look over here again to our diagram, if we have the post interval set at daily, basically every time the campaign runs, if it's been a day since the campaign last run, it'll basically post a new fresh piece of content to these different Web 2.0 accounts. So on a daily basis you're going to get a new article posted to each one of these Web 2.0 accounts. Alright, the next option I want to show you is the grow link will after one post to account. So basically, as I explained earlier, these networks aren't grown out like all at once. Usually it takes a couple of hours or a couple of days, depending on what settings you have set for them to actually grow out all the tiers. So the grow link will after one post is basically a control to determine how fast you want your entire network to be built out. Typically, one post to the account is good. So I'll give you I'll kind of show you what happens when you have this set at one post to the account. If you look back on the diagram here, like I said, when it first starts building, it'll build out the first tier of accounts, these 1, 2, 3 accounts right here. So with that current grow link will after one posts, basically after it goes out and posts one article to this Web 2.0 post, it'll start building out these other tier 2 properties linking to this tier 1 property. So this is basically a control mechanism. So if you were to set 5, grow the link will after 5 posts to the account, it would have to wait before 5 accounts are posted to this Web 2.0 property before it started building out these additional tiers. So this is just like I said, it's a control to control how fast this entire network is built out. Okay, and then on finally the last setting here is max posts per account limits. So this sounds complicated, but it just basically means it'll stop posting to any Web 2.0 property based on what your account limits are set here. So on default, the way BloggNet Bandit works, it's just going to continue posting indefinitely to all these Web 2.0 properties, naturally adding new content to them based on your post interval here. So if you don't want that to happen, where you want maybe only 5 or 6 or 10 links or 10 posts to be actually added to each one of these properties, and then you don't want it to be posting to those properties anymore, this is where you're going to use the max post per account limits. So for instance, if you can set this at the tier level. So if I enable this and I set tier 1 to only allow 1 post, basically it's going to go out, it'll build out tier 1, it'll post 1 article to this Web 2.0 property, and then it'll stop posting to that account altogether after that 1 post. It will still continue posting to these other properties depending on what you have those settings set for that tier. So for example, on this tier 1 account, based on these settings here, after 3 accounts being posted to this tier 1 Web 2.0 property, it's going to stop posting at that point. It will still continue posting to this tier 2 property until it reaches 5 total posts on this tier 2 property, and then the same for the tier 3 properties. Once it reaches 10 posts on one of these tier 3 properties, it'll stop posting to that property. So like I said, that's the structure and growth tab under campaign properties. Just head over to the next lesson and we'll start talking about the target links and how you can use those to actually target what sites you're promoting with these campaigns.